Hi there, it's Miss Dalkey, and today we're going to be talking about elapsed time. So, y'all bear with me, and I'm going to show you 4 different ways to do it. Okay, now if you'll see, our start time is 8:16, and our end time is 12:15. Making sure I was reading that right. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, 8:16, I want to get to the nearest multiple of 5. Because remember, whenever you're counting minutes on the clock, there's 5 minutes between each big number, each hour number. So between 6 and 7, there's 5 minutes. Okay, between 1 and 2, there's 5 minutes. So I want to get to the nearest 5 multiple of 5 from 16. So that's going to be, if we were rounding, would round up to 20. Okay, so I want to get to 8:20. So I'm going to need to add 4 minutes. So right here, I'm going to write 0 hours and 4 minutes. Okay, 0 hours and 4 minutes. So that gives me my new time of 8:20. Now, I want to get as close as I can, the quickest. Okay, so the biggest increment of time that we have is the hour. So I'm going to count from 8:20 and see how far I can go before I get to 12:15. So we have 8:20, and watch, I'm going to use my fingers because I don't want to get confused. So here's 8:20. If we add 60 minutes, which is 1 hour, we have 9:20, 10:20, 11:20, and the next one would be 12:20. But that goes past 12:15, so I can only do 3 hours. 8, let's see, 9:20, 10:20, 11:20. So that's 3 hours that I'm going to add. Okay, now you notice I'm keeping my hours on this side and my minutes on this side. That way we can add them up real easy. So adding 3 hours to 8:20 got us to 11:20. Now, 11:20 is definitely a multiple of the 5, but I want to get to the nearest half hour right now because now I know that's going to make it easier. So from 11:20 to the next easy to count hour is 11:30. So that's 10 minutes. So I'm going to add 10 minutes to 11:30. Now see what I'm doing is I'm adding time until I can get to an easier time to count. Now, what's 30 minutes after 11:30? Remember, the hour's at the top. The half hour is at the bottom. That's the 30 right there. So if I go around another 30 minutes, I'm going to get to 12 o'clock. Good. So I'm not going to add any hours, but I'm going to I'm going to put 30 minutes. So that takes me to 12 o'clock. Y'all see how I did that? I had 11:30, I added 30 minutes onto it, and I got to 12. Now, if you don't have a clock at home that you can really look at and use, you can always draw yourself a clock, okay? and write your numbers around, and that will help you visualize what we're doing. Okay, so now I need to get to 12:15. So I'm at 12 o'clock. So I'm going to add 15 minutes. And that gets me to my end time of 12:15. Okay, now let's add it up and see how many minutes it took to do that, or how long it took to do that. We're going to start with the minutes, and I'm going to do the biggest numbers first. So 30 plus 15 is 45. And then I'm going to put a dot by each one of them to let me know I added them in. There we go. So I'm at 45, and then another 10 makes 55, and then 4 minutes makes 59 minutes. That's almost an hour, just one more minute and it would be an hour. And then I'm not finished because I have to add my hours in. So here's 3 hours. So this ended up being the elapsed time, 3 hours and 59 minutes. Now, there's 2 ways you can write it. 3 with the colon, and then 59. Where'd it go? There it is. 3:59, or you could write it 3 hours and 59 minutes. Okay, so that's one way to do the elapsed time. Let's look at the next way. It is also a T-chart, but it's not going to use numbers. Sorry. Again, my fingers aren't working. I don't have the excuse of not having my coffee today, though. Okay, so this is T-chart number 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a dot for the minutes. We're going to use a line or a dash for each 5 minutes. And then we're going to use X's for the hours. Okay? This is going to, it sounds a little bit confusing, but I promise it'll be real easy. Okay, so we are going to start at 7:28. Okay, now again, I want to get to the nearest hour. So 28, the next nearest 5-minute increment is going to be 2. It's going to be 7:30. So from 7:28, we're not going to add any hours, but we're going to add 2 minutes. So 7:28, 7:29, 7:30. Okay, now I want to go to 12:22. So I'm ready to do my hours now. Okay, that's the biggest increment that we have. So I'm ready to do the hours now. So now we're at 7:30. So let's go as far as we can. We have 7:30, so that would 1 hour would be 8:30, another hour 9:30, another hour 10:30, another hour 11:30, and if we add one more, it wouldn't work because that would be taking us past our time. So we had 4 hours, which takes us to 11:30. See? So far we've got 4 hours and 2 minutes. Now we're ready to get as far as close to 12:22 as we can. So right now our new time is 11:30 because we added those 4 hours. Okay, let's count by fives and see how many it takes us to get to 12:22. Okay, so we're at 11:30. So here we go. We're going to say 11:35, 45, 55, 65. I just fooled you. I fooled myself too. I forgot what I was doing. So from 11:30 we have 11:35, 11:45, 11:55. Now this next one is 60, 11:60, which is the same thing as 12 o'clock. So here's 12 o'clock, but I still have to go get as close as I can to 22. So here's 12 o'clock, here's 12:05, 12:10, 12:15, 12:20, and I still need to get to 22. So I just added, we're going to count each one of these. That's 10, 20, 30. I added 40 minutes. So that took us, 40 minutes took us to 12:20. And now I need 22. So I'm going to put a dot and a dot. Whoops, I should have lined them up. A dot and a dot for 2. So now let's add it up. I'm going to go ahead and do the hours first. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 hours. Now here's 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes, but we still have to add on these 4 ones. So this was 40, so 41, 42, 43, 44. So 4 hours and 44 minutes. And I'll let you look at it for just a minute. Now, I didn't have to combine those fives to make tens, but for me it was just a lot easier. Okay, so do you see how that worked? Okay, so you could have written this 4:44. That means 4 hours and 44 minutes, or you could have written it 4 hours and 44 minutes. Okay, so that is the second T-chart. Okay, now then, the next one is a little bit different, and you do kind of need to know your time or be ready to do some addition or subtraction in this. I'm going to have to get a drink because my mouth is dry. Okay, this method is called the Zoom method. Okay, so we're going to start right here, makes a big Z. Okay, we're going to start right here with 8:45, and we want to go to the nearest hour on this one. We want to get to the nearest hour. So from 8:45, it takes 15 minutes to get to 9 o'clock. Okay, started here at 8:45, added 15 to get to 9 o'clock. Now we got to get all the way down here. This is going to be the hours again. Okay, so we're going to have to count how many hours we have to go to 12:30. Now we can't go to 30 because we're starting at 9 o'clock, but we're using the hours. So 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 hours. Okay, it's okay to use your hands. 3 hours, and that gets us to 3 o'clock. Okay, you went from 8:45, added 15 minutes to get to 9 o'clock. From 9 o'clock to the nearest, oh goodness, I wrote the wrong number, is 12 o'clock. Please forgive me. Okay, sorry about that. 9 plus 3 is 12. So that gets you to 12 o'clock. And then our time that we want is 12:30. So if we're straight up at 12 o'clock and we want to get to 12:30, how many minutes is that? Think about it. Go from the top where both hands are on the 12, and then you need one hand to go around to the 30 or to the 6. How many minutes is that? 30 minutes. Very good. Okay, so now we have 15 minutes, 3 hours, and 30 minutes. Now we're going to add them all up. Okay, I circled what we're going to add. So we're going to start with 3 hours. Okay, so we have 3 hours. And then our minutes are 30 minutes and 15. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to add it up. See, I told you you might have to use some addition or some addition in this. So I've got 30 plus 15, because it's 30 minutes here and 15 minutes up there. 0 plus 5 is 5, and 3 plus 1 is 4. So that gives us 3 hours and 45 minutes. Probably should have done my figuring over a little bit more, but that's okay. 3:45. Okay. I'm going to let y'all look at this one for just a minute. I'm trying not to go too fast, but at the same time, I don't want to wait too long. Okay. Now then, I've got one more to show you. This is done on a number line, only it's a little bit different kind of number line. It just doesn't have the numbers on it. Okay. On this one, y'all ought to be real interested in this. Our school day starts at 7:50, okay? And 4th grade goes to lunch sometime between 12:15, 12:20 to 12:30 or 12:35. So I'm going to do the class that goes at 12:23. Is that right? Yes, 12:23. Okay. So this is called Mountains, Hills, and Rocks. Here's a mountain. It looks like a teepee. A hill is curved. And then the rocks are the minutes. So that means the hills are the 10 minutes and the mountains are an hour. We're going to start with the mountains. We want to go as close as we can from 750 to 1223. Okay, so from 750, we're going to start right here at 750. Then we're going to draw one mountain to 850. Then we're going to draw another mountain to 950. Then we're going to draw another mountain to 1050. Can we go one more? Yep, it'll just get us to 1150. All right, so here's 1150. Now, we're going to start the hills. Remember, they're worth 10 minutes. So from 1150, we add 10. So that's 12 o'clock. We draw another hill. That makes 12:10. And we draw another hill, and that makes 12:20. Okay? And then it's 3, so we have to draw 1, 2, 3 little rocks. Okay? I'm going to label these right quick. 12, 12:10, 12:20, and 21, 22, 23. Okay, so now we've got our time. We've got our picture drawn to 1223. Let's add these up right quick. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. So we're going to have 4 hours. This is 10, 20, 30 minutes. 10, 20, 30 minutes. And then we can't forget our rocks. So 30, here's 31, 32, 33. So 4 hours and 33 minutes. Okay, and that's it. So there you go. Look at that for a minute. Sorry, my writing's not very good. Now, hopefully you can use one of these techniques to go over elapsed time. Okay, remember you can do T-chart number 1 with the time. You can do T-chart number 2 with the X's and dashes and dots. You can use, I can get it picked up, the zoom method. Okay, guess I ought to back it up a little bit. The zoom method, or you can do the mountains, hills, and rocks. Okay, if you have any questions, please contact me, and I hope this helped. I love you guys. I miss you very much. Stay strong, stay healthy, and don't forget to read. Love you. Bye.